5,530 pounds, Freedom Express 248, rear bath, couples camper with easy direct facing entertainment and outside kitchen here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Chock full of goodness. We've got a taller interior ceiling, taller shower, longer 80-inch bed for bigger folks like me, AZDEL for the weight savings and the longevity, and a partridge in a pear tree. One of the major customer preferred features on this Freedom Express is that with that slide close like we're looking at, not only do you have good access to everything except the TV really, but you have easy access to everything but the TV. There's not even an area where you have to walk sideways to get through this camper. So if you want to get back to all the storage, if you want to get back to the bathroom, you want to pack up your kitchen or your bedroom before you leave, or if you need to make a travel stop, this is definitely 100% turtle friendly. And it's really this combination bedroom privacy and rear-facing sofa wall right here that one of two major ways this separates itself from its really close sister, the 231 RB DS Freedom Express here at Haylett RV. We also carry this floor plan in the Jayco J-Flight, which is ultra similar. I think basically they looked at the Freedom Express and yeah, we could do that at a lower price point, but there's differences between the product. You'll lose like the AZDEL and the fiberglass skin. So what we're looking at here is this sofa. Obviously it blocks off the bedroom to give you full privacy. We do have slide side and sofa side breeze windows, storage above and below the sofa that we'll see later, but it directly faces our entertainment center. And what's also kind of cool is this rear sofa here. It has a theater style fold down armrest, but they actually went with the nicer version with the 12 volt powered USB charging plugs and a little touch-sensitive cup holder lighting right here. And what's kind of cool about that is at night, if you're just trying to watch a little movie or something, it gives you very easy visibility of like where your drink is, or it helps you kind of keep your bearings on things. But what's cool is you get all that without losing the guest sleeping capacity that some different sofa arrangements might result in. But what's also kind of handy here is this will quick drop down into a bonus little sleeping space. Maybe good for a grandkid. You're not going to sleep an adult on here, especially since it's a very nice seating sofa, which is its primary purpose, directly across from the entertainment, as we've discussed, with those nice purpose-built sort of armrests right there. But that will also kind of block a long-legged fellow like me from sleeping on there. But it doesn't much matter, because if you're going to have an adult guest, well, that's where this big U-dinette comes into play, because this is like 74 inches long. So we've got like a 7-foot bonus sleeper here when it is, guest bedtime. And that's another one of those areas where the private front bedroom sliding door in this camper is going to be one of your best friends. When you do have the kiddos over, you're not going to be having a line of sight on one another and visibly seeing one another. So everyone gets a little bit of privacy that I think we all look for when we're sleeping. Now, I've got myself a little bit out of order here. Normally I go through just kind of showing the general living space before getting into storage, but I figured as long as we're looking at this U-dinette and the full bench storage access doors that it offers and the rear storage pocket that you have on that rear bench, why not just dig right into it? So you can see we've got those little bench end accent lights. We've also got kind of a matching light above the TV just to help brighten it up and set off a nice little accent here. Now obviously this table is free floating. It can move around anywhere. It could really double as a nice coffee table or like dining table in front of the cinema style sofa that we have over here. But I want to circle back to that sliding rear panel on the rear of the U-dinette bench. I don't really see that done pretty much anywhere else in the industry, and that really surprises me because I don't think it costs anything more. But to get to the rear bench seating from other brands, you have to like take off the cushions and the decking and everything, and you have to move the table. And you don't really have to do all that here. You might scoot the table a little bit, but you can just slide a panel, grab whatever's under there, slide it back. Very good for uncommonly used appliances. And then, of course, full storage under the seating that doesn't require disrupting everything. You've got, your storage cabinet space here in the entertainment center, but as we come around to the kitchen proper, you've got a very good pantry space dedicated right next to the refrigerator. Now, one of the things that I would normally talk about sooner in a Freedom Express is that they're taller inside. These have a 6'9" ceiling height, as opposed to 6.5 feet with or without the vaulted ceiling bubble. What that's creating here for us, guys, is taller cabinets, taller shower, general bigger space and headroom and larger feel. but they're doing so at a very aggressive competitive weight. And I'll get into why that's accomplished outside, and the answer is not cutthroat structure capacity. Cabinet door construction real quick. We've got hardwood cabinet door frames. We've got longer lasting pocket screwed cabinetry right here. The countertops, like I got myself all off kilter in this thing. The countertops are a sealed edge pressed membrane, and you'll actually see the same style of material used on the tabletop and in the bathroom. And the idea behind this is that if you spill a drink or you have water exposure, liquid exposure, it's not going to seep into that countertop because it's sealed. That's what allows them to recess the stove top here, and you can see that you've regained some prep space with that tempered glass cover, as well as the stove or the sink cover that we're looking at here. And as long as we're looking at the sink, do the little ring test. You can hear it's not plastic. That's a material called stone cast, which is rated for up to 500 degrees. It is very lightweight, it is incredibly rugged, and it won't potentially rust like, say, stainless steel could, because not most RV sinks are not a true stainless steel. They'll say that, but it's not. Anyway, extra large door here on the kitchen window. 1, it gives you visibility. 2, it gives you airflow. And 3, it tilts open for rainy day use, which is really slick. Now, one of my favorite features here on your Freedom Express family is, a lot of F's in that sentence, is the utensil drawer. So called because it's U-shaped and it holds your utensils for you and your family. But what's neat is you can easily just pop that little insert out and take it out time when it's like outside picnic time. Now down below you can see that there's a panel kind of blocking off some of that cabinetry. It's because there's a thing like maybe a water pump down there that they don't want shifting cargo to break and bust up. And as I said, we'd circle back to the storage both below and above the rear-facing sofa right here, so that, I mean, there's just, what I like to say, not an ounce of space gone to waste in a Freedom Express. I've always felt that every camper does something better than something else, but as a whole, I think Coachmen does storage better than nearly anyone else in the marketplace. So now that we've seen all the storage, let's just kind of go through it in normal camping mode where I'd normally begin. So, as I mentioned earlier, taller ceilings, and they're using brighter lights and more of them up here. And one thing that is potentially different here, the way that we build our Freedom Expresses at Haylett RV, I've been told, is atypical. We will build every Freedom Express for general inventory across the board with a larger 15,000 BTU air conditioner instead of the standard 13.5. I'm told that here in the Midwest that's very uncommon. I know a lot of southern dealers do that, but it's weird for us. And here's why I like to do it. For no more than it costs, it's like $200, if that, for a like 50% more powerful air conditioner unit. For no more than it costs, I ask myself, would I regret possibly not having that extra cooling power? My answer is probably, maybe. We'll say that. Not probably, but maybe. Would I ever regret having more cooling capacity? And the answer to that to me is no. So we like to put a bigger AC on these. We also like to add a rear roof ladder and a power tongue jack to these for just easy maintenance, easy setup, and just fun, easy breezy camping. Big windows in here. I already mentioned how they all open for airflow. We already got to see the dinette in a couple different arrangements in sleeping and storage modes, as it were. You've got the pleated shades for privacy all around. Little shoe garage under the entertainment center is in a slightly odd position on this floor plan, but I don't know. It's always useful. You can always do a thing with it. Now your TV actually can swing out. I've got it popped out of the entertainment center a little bit, as you can see. So if you do want to face it toward the dinette and have a shared sofa dinette entertainment experience, you can do that. Down below, DVD Bluetooth player, pretty common in the business, but a nice little phone charger station with some more 12-volt powered USB plugs. That's the thing, is that you've got, what, 6-8 USB plugs around this camper to always keep different devices charged. And you've also got a household outlet here, so if you want to put like an adapter for more of those plugs, you can also do so. We've already seen the kitchen all expanded in all of its glory, so let's just kind of take a look at it here in camp mode. But I also want to point out that we have no floor vents in this. Freedom Expresses have a laminated floor and use cabinet ducted heating. And what that means is that there's no vents in the floor to possibly collect dirt, debris, anything like that. Not that I think that it's like a fire hazard or anything. It's just easier. Now, that does mean that this RV has slightly less efficient heating airflow. But this is not necessarily intended to be some cold camping Arctic camper. And almost no lightweight ultralight campers are. But this will be good, like extended 3-season use. You'll be fine. So, because this camper has an outside kitchen, it's got an exceptionally large rear bathroom with all kinds of floor space. And that, so if you are in that porcelain foot flush stool, not only do you have legroom, but you've got elbow room, shoulder room. It's big person friendly. And that's one of my personal favorite qualities on a Freedom Express RV is the big person friendliness, because I'm kind of a big person. I'm a little thicker around the midsection than I should be, and I'm taller than the average bear. So the extra ceiling height in the shower that allows a guy like me to stand in the shower without my head in that skylight. The radius shower that gives me the elbow room that I need to be comfortable. This camper offers all that. The longer queen bed in the bedroom, not the short camp queen. Things like that that I need for camping comfort, this has. And as if we hadn't already seen enough storage, the Freedom Express is like, I got more. What you got? I got more. Look at this. This is all above the outside kitchen right here. And I do like that they actually shelve it so that it's double the space. You can save money in a camper and make it look big and fancy by removing this shelf and just seeing this wide open cabinet compartment. And to a first-time buyer who's never camped, you're going to look at it and go, woo, that's impressive. But to any experienced RVer, you know that that shelf is worth its weight in gold right there, because you would have had to have found an alternative source for that anyway. So, circling back to really where we started, in entertainment camping mode, looking at that front privacy wall, we've already kind of cooked anything I would talk about here in the living room, so I do just want to pan around real quick to give you an idea. But I do also want to point out the fact that we do have a sliding pocket privacy door for that bedroom up there. So, pardon me, when you are ready to bunk down, not only do we just have this wall kind of dividing things, but you do have a door you can actually hard close. Now up here, we've got, again, that full 60 by 80 queen bed. So it is the longer camp queen with separate inside-outside storage below it. We do have the side stands, and you'll find USB and household plugs on both sides. One of the more recent updates, you might have noticed the updated stove top vent hood and microwave on this, the stainless appliance package in here. Those are a little bit newer. What has made a good return once again are these dual element reading lamps right here. You tap it once for blue, and you can hold it for a nice bright white. And that shiplap front accent wall panel right there, that's a little bit newer at the time of this filming. Several years ago, they added the roof vent here in the bedroom for extra light and airflow. And of course, we've got a simple set of TV hookups and a wall prep for a TV across the master bed for easy viewing. So I mentioned earlier how this is bigger, but still light. And one of the ways that they accomplish that is with a heavy use of aluminum skeleton, but another way that they accomplish that is with the AZDEL laminated wall panel. So the layer right below the fiberglass skin is called AZDEL. It's resin. It's not a wood component. It's lighter weight. It's also, the material itself cannot rot, mold, or mildew. You know, the primary thing there is going to be weight savings and longevity. It does have a few tertiary, secondary benefits, though. It is a little bit noise canceling, and it does have a slightly better R value as compared to Luan wall panels. I don't believe that's anything significant to write home about, however. Now, over here, we've got a simple side mount solar prep. So if you want those portable panels to chase the sun, you can. And like the lighter nose cap and the white roof on this, colored roof skins look cool, but they generate a lot of heat, and you won't find that in a Freedom Express. Now up front here, a couple things. You've got a 42 cubic foot, huge front storage pass-through compartment with extra wide and tall doors on both sides for those big zero gravity chairs. And obviously, you've got a built-in picnic table. It comes right with it, which is kind of cool. 2 foot by 4 foot, and it's a resin top. So on a drizzly, rainy day like today, not going to be damaged. Now, just like you have full LED awning lighting, you've got full LED storage pass-through lighting up front along that aluminum beam as well. The magnet latches make this a lot easier to manage when you've got kind of like some stuff in your hand. You can just do the one-hand twist lock when you're on your campsite. You want to do the key lock when you're going down the road for just the extra security purposes. The nose cap here, that 3/4 cap with the diamond plate below, it's exceptionally rugged. They put a really thick candy-coated shell on that nose cap, so it can really take a pounding. It's not going to buckle from headwind exposure or anything like that. Pardon me. A couple other things to talk about on the tongue here. Again, the power tongue jack is an optional piece of equipment we like to add to them. I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a Freedom Express without that, however. They use 20-pound tanks on Freedom Expresses exclusively so that they're lighter weight and they're easier to exchange at a campsite. You know, if you need to swap something out on a Sunday, if you have to, you could go to a gas station and swap one around. They also, they've recently added a battery disconnect across the board on your Freedom Expresses, which I welcome, so that phantom load from things like your stereos, your water heaters, circuit board panels, your refrigerators, etc., they're not going to cause a dead battery situation after the RV's been in storage, even briefly. And you see we've got a tongue-mounted spare tire here next to my battery box. What's neat about that is it leaves the rear bumper wide open. If you want to add a bike rack, this camper just welcomes you to do so effectively. And it also improves load equalization because weight in front of the axle will tow better than weight behind. We do have a corrugated underbelly enclosure, and it is forced air heated. What I didn't say is this is some kind of crazy Arctic camper. What I said is this is going to give you a little extended use, a little further earlier into spring, a little later into fall. Once again, all of our windows open for ventilation, but you can also see that they are heavily UV tinted. So you've got extra privacy inside, and you're going to keep the heat down by blocking a lot of the solar radiation from the sun. And you pretty much have to have your nose pressed against those windows to see anything. Now, details, details, details. There's slide walls here. They have a rough texture to them, so that what it's doing is it's really grabbing that slide wiper seal right there. But it's a T-style wiper seal that will have even better surface exposure and grip on that slide wall, so the slide seal's always getting fully wiped in or out as appropriate. Another thing Freedom Express does very well, and I think one of the reasons I've been sweet on this brand for a number of years, like personally, I like Freedom Expresses personally, and I'm supposed to be Switzerland in this thing, but dang it if they haven't earned my respect. Their quality control has really improved. Last year in the 2018 to 19 exchange, we saw Freedom Express has never had terrible service records, but we saw significant improvement in their records. They've gotten to be absolutely fantastic recently here. They've really tightened up the screws, which is great. But smart details, like the taller ceiling, the longer bed, the AZDEL, and a centralized hookup station back here with both black tank flush and outside shower, and separate cable and satellite hookups. Intelligent use features. I look at this and I can say this is definitely built, appointed, and designed by people who camp themselves, not by someone who just can sketch a camper on a piece of paper. We are backup camera ready. We'll take maybe a quick trip up on that roof ladder on top. Freedom Expresses don't have a whole lot to show you up top, but they do have a walkable roof, and anytime I can demonstrate that, I do try to take the opportunity to do so. And one of the other signature calling cards of this floor plan is the outside kitchen. And Freedom Express has come up with a very good outside kitchen. It's not as wide, it's not as much of a space hog as some, but they've kept all the features in it. It's all thrill or no filler. You've got the bigger outside fridge out here. So between inside and outside, you've got, I believe, nearly 10 cubic foot of total cold storage. Very good for keeping your drinks outside and your food inside. Or if you're like me, just keep food everywhere. Keep food in this drawer, keep food in that fridge, yeah, everywhere. Keep food on the grill. Speaking of the grill, this is a free-floating Coleman camp grill. It feeds off those little 1-pound propane bottles, so kind of like the insert on the utensil drawer inside. Very portable. If you want to put it on that portable picnic table, you can move it around, so you're not necessarily relegated to just cooking right here. Now, right next to the outside kitchen, we do have TV hookups for like sort of tailgating, and another good use for that outside table is to put a little portable TV on it. But even out here, you see we've got plywood boxed full extension drawers. We've got the sealed edge counters. We have a real sink with a real drain into a gray tank so that you're not flipping the dog dish on the ground. We've got just enough real estate here, not too much, but just enough if you wanted to add, like if you're doing pancake breakfast for the kids outside, you want to get some toast or something like that. You've got space for a toaster, maybe margarita station with a blender, a little spice rub rack, and an extra cabinet outside here with a couple sets of exterior LED lights to really brighten this up if you are going to use it at night. Now, with the lighter weight, some smaller vehicles like tow package SUVs might be able to hook up to and physically haul a Freedom Express, but you start to run into potential length issues, and that's where these wide stance axles come in, because they help you cheat the wheelbase and they help the vehicle interpret the trailer as though the trailer were shorter. What that means in normal layman terms is that this thing tows straighter and it bounces less. It's just a nicer, better towing camper. A couple other quick details, like the triple entry step for easy come and go with that handle, just for daily comfort and function items, they're just all nailed on this one right here. What's also nice is they basically put the biggest awning on this thing they pretty much possibly could. A lot of people will ask, why doesn't the awning go over the outside kitchen? And that would mean that the awning would have to be placed kind of oddly you'd have to re-engineer, move the outside kitchen, because it does come all the way back to the rear wall. But that's why they put the bigger overhead door on this, to kind of act like a little drizzly rainy day shield, and it's actually kind of drizzly rainy day right now, and it's doing its job just fine. But over here, more to the point of the awning, you do have twist and lock awning arms, so if you want to tilt those down and get some rain runoff, you're good to go. Plus you've got you know, the full LED lighting under that awning like you'll see in the pass-through of the RV. So again, there's not a whole lot to see up here. It is a smaller camper. You know, a lot of the appointments, they're in the areas that you're going to look, see, feel, and touch every single day on a Freedom Express, which is smart. Now you're looking at this right here, though. You're going, what is this weird upside-down bucket-looking thing? And that is the one of the newer Winegard antenna systems. It helps protect all the antenna hardware from, like, sometimes if you're pulling into a state park or something and there's a funny low-hanging tree branch, you really don't want it ripping off your antenna, so there's just some extra protection and shielding there. Remember that optional piece of equipment, but we will typically outfit ours with a 15,000 B2 air. Never hesitate to contact our sales team to verify, however. But short of that, I just wanted to demonstrate that we can walk around all over this. Now, it throws some people off. Freedom Expresses, they're lightweight, and they use a lot of aluminum and AZDEL construction, and then they go to a wood skeleton roof, and it throws a lot of people off. They're like, wait a minute, why would they do that? Isn't that a bad thing? The answer is no, not at all. It's actually very heavy-duty roof construction. There are certain areas where sometimes different materials work better in one area than others, and roofing is certainly one of those. What's great about a Freedom Express is it's a big, thick, heavy-duty roof construction. It's going to hold up to like a snowpack, so if you are a northern United States customer, or if you're like a Canadian customer and you get a big, heavy snow load, you're not going to have to worry about your roof caving in on a Freedom Express. It's going to hold up to that. And if the roof is heavier and more structural, chances are the whole box is going to hold its shape a little bit better, because the roof is the last point where stress is expressed. So it's really important to understand that. Interestingly, they do something a little bit different here. Is the exterior perimeter of the roof of a Freedom Express, it actually has an aluminum beam around the outside. And they do that so that you have a flat aluminum beam that perfectly marries up to the flat aluminum beam on top of the sidewall. That way, because sometimes wood has odd imperfections across a long span, and that way you've got a better merger of roof to sidewall. And it sure seems to be working. I don't know the last time we had a Freedom Express with any sort of roof problems from the factory. That seems to be a thing of the past. Although I don't know if we ever really did. Doesn't matter. Anyway, you get the point. Is it isn't happening. Short of that, I will mention, you see my footprints from up here, walking around on the dirt and then walking around on your roof, but you won't see those footprints when you take this RV home. Because we don't do hidden fees at Haylett RV, and one of the things that we do for you is that we include a full starter bundle that'll also include electrical and water surge protectors. We will clean the camper to get my footprints off of it, and we will show you how to work the RV. Those things are at no additional charge. We don't do hidden fees at Haylett RV, but we do everything else, like hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between, from economy to excitement. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.